What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold. And just a couple days ago, the race to clear Mythic Blackheart Foundry has ended with Method being the world first guild to kill Mythic Blackhand. And so this did not happen without a little bit, actually a lot of controversy. And so we're going to be talking about that today. Now, y'all might remember a while ago, I did my video about how Wreckful got banned for account sharing in PvP. Now, this is going to be like episode 2 of that video. And this is pretty much what happened. And I do want to say this right now is I don't know this happened, right? And I'll talk about that, and I'll say this a couple times throughout the video so people don't get the wrong idea. I don't know this happened. I think it happened. I'm almost sure that it happened, but I can't verify it, okay? And so keep that in mind. Anyway, so what happened is that one of the players in Method had another geared alt that was geared enough to do Mythic Blackhand or contribute more than the first player who was playing his main character. And so the first guy who had the geared alt, he transferred that geared alt over to another Battle.net account. And then at the same time, so then that first player who wasn't able to kind of be in there because of his class wasn't good enough, played that second account on his account. And so that's obviously the account sharing part. And they were able to kill the boss because of that. Now, obviously, this gives them a pretty big advantage over other guilds who are not doing that because they can swap characters around. And also they have a bigger pool of classes and specs they can choose from whenever they're deciding on how they're going to do a progression boss. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff about like how this kind of affects other guilds. And I do want to say something right now is that a lot of people are probably going to ask me, how does this affect you? How does this affect like you know, and how does this affect me even? It doesn't. It really doesn't. Like I'm going to go to bed today, and I'm going to get up tomorrow, I'm going to go to Wendy's, and that's going to be it, right? I'm not even going to think about this. This isn't going to, you know, it's not going to break my car down. It's not going to give me a headache, anything. But that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be talked about and it's not an issue, right? And so just because it doesn't affect me doesn't mean that I don't think that I should be talking about it. And also is breaking the rules, right? Is breaking the rules because obviously you can't just be playing two characters because again, that gives them a huge advantage over other guilds. And we'll talk about how it affects them. But on an individual level, anybody outside of like maybe the top 100 guilds, like, and that's being really lenient, this doesn't matter to them. This doesn't matter at all. It's just something that should definitely be looked at, okay? And so anyway, this is not like one thing that people say is it does this make Method bad players? Guys, Method is one of the best guilds in the entire world. Everybody in Method is an amazing player. Method isn't using Serenite bombs. You know, they're not blowing up the Lich King's platform. You know, they're not dark simming Rack from Sinestra. No, there was 20 Method players. They went in there and they killed Mythic Blackhand. Hats off to them for that. Even if, you know, they did do the account share, it's still an extremely, like, a huge feat of skill and power and, you know, like, effort. And they probably put in tons of effort for this. But other guilds did the same thing. And a lot of other guilds like Midwinter, Paragon, I think there was like Ascension might have been in the race, and maybe one other guild, and they were all 9 of 10. And so Method obviously used an option available to them that was against the terms of service. And what I'm saying is that really shouldn't, that's not really a world first, and they cheated. And the reason that matters is because all the other guilds, maybe they didn't cheat, maybe they did, it doesn't matter. But all of the other guilds kind of have to do this now if they want to stay competitive. And we'll talk about that later too. Now, the thing is, like, as I said, I cannot verify this. I don't know if this happened or not. Now, as I said, I'm 100% convinced, but I could also be 100% wrong, okay? And so make sure that you guys know that. And it's like, I don't like to make like kind of assumptions based on anything except for firsthand experience, and I don't have any. Now, also another thing is that I don't think that Blizzard should just go out and ban everybody from Method or something like that. That would be ridiculous, right? But I do think it should be looked at, right? And that's all I really want is for this to be addressed, okay? And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, okay? I'm an asshole. That's too bad. It wouldn't be the first time, right? And so another thing is that people say that, I guess, everybody who's calling Method out for this and complaining about this is just jealous. They're just jealous. You know, it doesn't matter if they're jealous or not. You know, it's like Charles Manson thinks that we should be doing more things to preserve the environment. Does that mean that we're going to be burning tires on Earth Day? Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean that everything that comes out of their mouth is bullshit. And so just even if every single person, like including me, is just a fat, jealous, no-life neckbeard, and they with share in Method and they're not, so this is all they can do, they can say, oh, they cheated, you know, it's not fair. You know, it doesn't matter because it's still a valid concern, right? Just because it doesn't matter whose mouth it comes out of, it's still a valid concern, okay? So if you're thinking that, you're crazy, okay? And so, and just think about it. Just think about it for a second. it doesn't matter who's saying it. Like, and this is not like my opinion. This is not like my opinion. Oh, Asmongold thinks this is against the rules. No, it says it. It says it in the rules. This is not like, you know, I'm trying to, I'm saying that this is like against the spirit of the game. No, it says right there on the rule book, on the terms of service, that you're not supposed to do this, right? So this isn't any real, like, I guess, like assumptions or precedents we're using here. No, it just says it right there. Okay, make sure that you know that. Like, this is not my opinion. This is literal fact that this is against the rules. Now, other people, as I said before, are probably going to ask, as I said before, why does this matter to me? It doesn't, but again, it sets a really, really bad precedent, and that's one of the main problems that I have with this, is that other guilds are now going to feel like they have to do this, right? And another example of this was like the split runs, and I think that the first guild to ever do that was Blood Legion in Dragon Soul. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But Blood Legion was the first guild to go ahead and do split runs, and because of that, I think that they were also the only guild who was able to have the DPS requirement, and they were able to get the world first Ultraxian 25-man kill on Heroic. Now, obviously, excuse me, I think that was in like 2011, and so I might be wrong, but I don't really think that I am. Anyway, so if one guild is cheating, and you're another guild, and you're a top guild, and you want to compete with them, if nothing happens to Method, if this is not addressed, if Blizzard just says, hey, you know, great job, you know, you did it, and that's actually what they did, which is pathetic, but they, if they just say, hey, you know, pat them on the back, good job, you know, you won the race, and that's all there is to it, nothing ever happens to Method, then next time around, all the other guilds are going to feel like they're compelled to have to cheat. And so you get into this thing, it's like in professional sports where you're not supposed to have steroids, okay? And the reason you're not supposed to have steroids, it's not that steroids are going to, like, it's not like it's like crack cocaine or something like that. Is that if one person is doing steroids, everybody else who wants to compete and wants to stay on the same level has to also do steroids, and it puts an unnecessary burden on everybody else, and it's just better to keep it out all to begin with, right? And so it's like, at least in like bodybuilding, they have like natural bodybuilders and unnatural bodybuilders. Well, we don't really have that in Warcraft. There's just one race, or not unnatural, but, you know, just like normal one, like Mr. Olympia, whatever. And so this is like kind of an issue, as you can see, because the more that other guilds are doing this, the more that lower guilds will feel like they have to do it, and it just kind of trickles down. And the same thing has happened in PvP. And guys, I watched the because I had a buddy, I had a couple friends that were playing in it, the Battle for the Atlantic, and this was a PvP tournament. I was actually going to make a video all about this, but I just decided not to. And it was a PvP RPG tournament, and it was just a complete, I mean, like, it was the casters and everything, they did their absolute best, and I really feel bad for them, because there was not, like, I watched like 3 or 4 matches, and there was not one match that happened where somebody was either disconnected, got DDoSed, was somehow cheating, was streaming without a delay, something was going wrong. Like, everybody was cheating, right, pretty much. And I asked a question about this, and we'll get back to the Method thing too. I asked the question, is it what happens if everybody's cheating, right? Because I thought that that was what was going to happen. And it's hilarious to me, and sad and pathetic at the same time, that that's actually what happened, is that literally everybody in that tournament was cheating that I saw, like, just on that one day, okay? Obviously, I don't know what happened in the semifinals or the finals. I just watched like one day of it, and so I can't really say for the rest of it. But whenever I saw it, all of the different times somebody was offline for one reason or another, which I would kind of assume is DDoSing, and just all kinds of stuff like that. And it's just really pathetic. And guys, do we really want to play a game where it's okay to cheat at the game? And I don't really think so, because then, like, it'll come down to the point where, like, even now, like, even 3-night and 4-night guilds are doing split runs to stay competitive, and, like, kind of you're always upping the ante on, like, what it really takes to get a world first. And I think that that's, like, it's kind of okay, but, you know, whenever that turns into cheating, it's not okay. And that's why I have a problem with it. I don't want people to be cheating at the game. It makes a joke out of the game, and it turns it into a shit show. And I hope that you guys agree, and please, like, you know, make this known. Like, people are trying to say, oh, don't talk about this, it doesn't matter. Of course it does matter. It's the world first kill of the new boss. And it might not matter to you, but it matters in the larger state of the game. And please, like, you know, be aware of that. And it just fucks up the game. And I really hope that you guys understand where I'm coming from. And I know some people won't. It's fine. You know, like, not everybody's going to agree with me. It doesn't bother me. But I do hope that you guys can see where I'm coming from, and hopefully, you know, just make posts about it. Like, tweet Blizzard, you know, about it, and say, you know, hey, you might want to look into this. but I'm not going to name off any names. I'm not going to say that this happened for sure. I think it happened, but I don't know for sure. So anyway, all I'd like to know is that, from Blizzard's end, did this happen? But anyway, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.